Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mr. Pascal. It's Margie. I just have a quick question. I'm a little bit puzzled
Shoot.
why the cops would say no, no, no to any family member's input on who they might suspect.
You know what, Margie? There's a couple different things. One, I have two different theories. One, they don't have enough evidence pitted up against those three individuals that say the brother was pointing out. And then number two, let's think about this too. You got to remember, they clearly are looking at this and seeing that this could be very well street beef. So why would they instantly turn to the family or to the brother who clearly shows that he's ready to put pause on anybody right now and say, those guys could very well be the guys. So they may not say anything to the family right now because you know for a fact family members and other members of the family, I'm just going to put up air quotes, could retaliate. You see what I'm saying? And they need to, as much as they can, protect the situation, protect the case, and protect their investigation. So that could very well be the other reason why too.
Pascal, could it also be that, I don't know why, but this crossed my mind because I've seen this happen a lot.
Shoot.
That there's a big fish to fry and all others maybe, so like if they take down those specific people that the brother is mentioning, then they can't get to the big honcho guy. Is that, or am I speculating too much and I need to take off my tinfoil hat?
No. Keep that tinfoil hat on because that doesn't sound too insane. But I feel like it's like if you got three people, okay, including the young baby, you got Fabian who lost his life too. If you got three people that lost their life and you got the whole world right now focused, like laser-like focus on this situation. I mean, obviously I'm not 5-0. I can't speak on SAPD here, but I feel that could be a possibility. But what I feel that they would sit there and go, no, let me catch these guys and then have them squawk on their higher ups because maybe we can get a deal for them and get them to talk about their head honcho if it's gang related and all that. Whoever called the shot.
But if the higher up is cartel, then that takes time.
That takes time. That takes all.
Cartel will never dirty their hands. They'll always send their little peasants to do their dirty work.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No, I mean
they handle their own business.
Yeah, I mean, as far as cartel, I think that a lot of cartel. I mean, they're going to do everything they can to wash their hands clean of the situation or make it seem like they had nothing to do with it.
So that they can keep their business intact and keep it
moving.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Moving, keep it clean.
But then again, that's just my theory, Marjorie. I mean, there's plenty of other people here that have different theories, Julian. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of theories out here.
This case, rest in peace, baby Fabian, Savannah, and Matthew. But this case is so twisted, and it has you like in an emotional sort of limbo because no one should ever die for no reason at all. But then you have the fact that these people at the same time were, they're dead, they can't defend themselves, and maybe they were going to get out of it. And you want to always be optimistic that this was just, the end to a means temporarily.
Right.
But at the same time, Pascal, you're always torn about, but these folks distribute this stuff and they destroy other lives in the process of them trying to get their one leg up. It's heart-wrenching in every aspect.
No doubt.
When you think about it, it's so sad, and may they rest in peace.
Yeah.
May there be justice, of course.
I'm hoping for the same thing. I mean, obviously, we all want justice because these people are still at large, and they can do this again. And they can do this not only to this family, but they can do this to other innocent lives as well. They need to be caught. Now, if there's a connection to something. Okay, go ahead.
Everyone keeps saying that it's a girl with a high ponytail that's driving that car. Pascal.
Right.
I'm a registered nurse. Been working for over 20 plus years in the field.
Right.
I will never, ever take a body to the morgue, you know, not to be in, so that I'm not in the elevator in the process with a dead body. That's how scary it is to me. And I've been doing it for a long time. So how can someone say that this is actually a girl, a young girl at that, when I'm just like, she would have been freaking out. She would have been like, no, I'm not driving the car. I
Yeah.
mean,
But
I could see an older woman doing that, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe, or a dude.
I will say this, Marjorie. I think we live in a time now that, and pardon what I say here, okay? Because I'm trying to be a gentleman as much as I can, but I gotta say it like it is. Crazy doesn't give a damn what you look like, what sex you are, what color you are. If you have zero regard for human life, you'll do whatever it takes.
You'll sit right next to them like it's nothing, right?
Exactly. Now, one thing I will say
I'm
though, one thing real
scared.
quick, with the video that we've seen a million times, when the girl, it seems, because I think it's a female too that's driving the car. And I have a question too.
It looks that way.
It does look that way, but she gets out of the car. So there is a part of me that thinks that maybe she's like, yo, you taking the car, right? And he's like, no, get your ass back in the car. You drive. You see what I'm saying? That's the only other theory I had. Like, it's like, I need to get out of this car. Oh my God. That could be it. But then again, there could have just been miscommunication or something of that sort. Maybe she thought she was just going to drop the car off there. I don't know. But it seemed like she gets out of the car and then he kind of puts her back into the car. Yeah. Now, that's anything possible. The other thing I want to point out, though, really quick, Marjorie, is you said high ponytail. Now, her hair was exposed, right? Did they go through that entire car and clean it up? Or what, were the police able to obtain some hair follicles from another person? Again, remember, hair is hair.
I'll tell you something, Pascal. Long hair seems to fall a lot, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even touch your hair or rub your hair without leaving some bits of hair somewhere.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, I go to the gym, or I go out. I go to the gym, I go out or whatever. I find my wife's hair everywhere on my own body. Okay. So I keep wondering, like, did she leave something behind? Because they left the shells, right? They took the gun, they took the cell phones, but shells were still in the car. Did she go in there and
she didn't have a hairnet?
You see what I'm saying?
She wasn't like a Kentucky Fried Chicken girl.
Facts.
She did not have a hairnet.
Facts. She was not out there looking like she was serving, at a Popeyes. Okay. She literally got out of that thing and you could see that she has dark black hair, or they have dark black hair. So I keep wondering, no DNA was left behind. But then again, police have only given us so much information, and now we know that they have more stuff. They're just filing through it, and hopefully we get the truth here soon. But it's not going to be by no spirit box, man.
That particular meetup where she meets with the chubby guy, let's call him Big Guy, Big Pun. At first I thought it was Big Bertha, but now it is Big Pun. When she does that meetup, where does the car get dropped off after that particular point? Is it like a block away, or is it within that same courtyard?
See, that's one thing.
Or parking.
That's one thing I have not done map time on. Okay, shout out to Grizzly, True Crime, but I haven't done any map time on that. I think it wasn't very far from where they met up.
To your point, if the girl is like, okay, you got it from here, because I'm like, I'm done. My work is done. I want to get paid, and now I'm out. I was just told to drive a little bit. It makes sense that she did get out, and they were like, no, you're not done, sweetheart. Keep it moving. And she was like, oh, my God, F this. I'm just going to leave it here. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But for her to drive a little bit longer with two, and not out of disrespect for the corpse, but out of fear, like, oh, my God, like. But then again, if she's a pro and she's done this like 1,000 times, this is child's play for her.
Right.
I could see her being like, okay, next, like, let's keep it moving.
And the other thing,
but at the same time,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Every time you stop at a light,
right,
there's always that fear, like, okay, if I get pulled over by a police officer, if I get pulled, nowadays you get pulled over for no reason at all, and you're gonna tell me I know their windows were so tinted, but at any given time, someone can just roll up by your side and be like, "Oh, okay, what's up with the pretty girl?"
Yeah. I mean, anything
Mm,
is possible here, right? Anything is
yeah.
possible in this situation.
So distance. How far did she drive around with the bodies,
Yeah, I'm wondering
for lack
about,
of better words?
Marjorie. I am wondering about that same thing too. How long were they driving around for, and all that? And again, I think that's information and footage that 50, I'm sure, has by now. The other thing I wanted to point out too is, uh, you know, I this is the one thing I want to say. And this is a wild thought. Not saying that this is true at all. I ain't trying to do Julian up in this piece, but I am
Hmm.
curious about if they use women to throw off their scent. Now, hear me out. The
Okay.
possibility of a man driving that car might be a little bit more suspicious than a little woman, right? Female driving
Agree.
that car. Does that make sense? It's like, oh, it's the girlfriends, they're hanging out, blah, blah, blah. Maybe these gangs and all that use women to kind of decoy when they're making
As a
moves out
decoy,
here. Or they're
makes sense.
raising these girls to not give a damn in life or death kind of situations, right? In situations. So that could be it too. Like I said, it's just a random thought I had in my head. Doesn't mean that it's absolutely true or at all, but it is something to think about, right? Like, oh, we use
Yeah.
them as a decoy. We use them to move things around so it doesn't look like it's super suspicious, because it could, if it was a fella, they could possibly get pulled over just for profiling, just being profiled, right? But a woman may be a little
Right.
bit
Right.
different. You see what I'm saying?
Less,
So,
a little bit less of a
so
profiling.
maybe that's the reason why they used the woman as well in the car. Because I do, like, I
Um,
agree with you. I think it's a woman that's driving that Kia, and I think it's because she was getting paid possibly to just move the bodies, and that's it. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I
But
would be
Marjorie,
fearful.
go
I
ahead.
would be fearful that a chick would be the first one to like, oh, I don't want to catch a charge, and little up, speak up
Right.
on everyone that's involved. But then again, if you look at other cases like the Adelson case,
Uh,
that
oh,
girl held out to the very end. McBanoa,
yeah.
Catherine McBanoa, she held on to the end. Katie McBanoa. Like, this is one particular case where it was a female. She was like the middle person for a hit,
Hmm.
and she held out to the very end. Like,
Yeah.
she could have avoided all charges had she spoken out, and she held her ground. So yeah, chicks are tougher. You're
Yeah.
right. It may be a chick.
Yeah. So
I
Marjorie,
want to thank you for, yes.
go ahead. No, I was just going to say thank you so much. I got some people calling in, but I do appreciate you, speaking on and let me know your thoughts.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of
I'll
course.
loosen up my tinfoil hat just a little bit.
Okay.
It's a little tight.
We will too. Okay.
Bye.
We will too. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All
Love
right.
you so much.
Love
Love
you
your
too.
show.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, sweetheart. Somebody was just trying to call and I missed you, but go ahead and give me a call back again. But yeah, I mean, there's so many questions, right? There's so many things that are going on around this, and yes, I do think that there's a possibility that police know more. Obviously, they know a whole lot more, but they're not going to tell the family right off the bat because we can see that they're very passionate individuals. Okay, they're trying to not have street beef in these streets. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
What's your name?
My name is Todd.
Todd, what's up, man? What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Oh, nothing, man. I was just trying to follow this case, man. As far as the two teenagers, the female and the gentleman.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the law enforcement, basically try to keep it a tight closure on, for us, try to letting clues and everything to come out for us, to let things go out.
Right.
I mean, my only thing about the situation is that why they not like some of the videos that they I guess pre-screening like the gentleman that was standing in the hallway. I guess I don't know exactly what they was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The little bit that I heard of, that one of the gentlemen try to see if did one of the other gentlemen recognize in the video.
So you wait, you're trying to identify one of the people in the video?
No, the three look a young gentleman that met up in the hallway, looked like that was at an apartment complex.
Yeah,
where they was, I guess, either talking about the case or whatever. Because one of the gentlemen that you can recognize that was doing all that cursing, tell him how you really feel about, I guess, the baby daddy, But my thing is that I understand that the law enforcement probably pre-screened that video and all the videos that through the social media and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my only thing, why does the family feel so harsh that about people's opinion, how they feel about? I understand there's a baby involved, but at the same time, is that the way I feel sorry that they got what happened to those teens and everything, but why? I guess the family have their own opinion too,
right?
I guess people just basically need to keep their mouths shut or whatever how they feel. But this is a new generation, but they have changed the outskirts, how they look, how the world should look. But see, them young people put themselves in that position, and that baby's basically the victim, man.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. But obviously they are all three victims of this heinous crime, of course. But yeah, when it comes to everything that's gone down, we live in a most definitely different time now. The care for life, the value of life it seems like it's now become an infectious disease, right? It seems like more and more people are now just not giving a damn about human life. We are constantly, reporting and talking about that on this show almost on a weekly basis. It is on a weekly basis, right? It's just different cases. It's an infectious disease. Now, when it comes to the conversation, right, that was caught on the ring cam in that hallway of the apartment complex and all that, to me, it just shows, it doesn't say that they had their hands in doing it. It just shows that they don't give a damn about whether this person lived or died, or about those two people living or dying. And that part is the sad part of it all. Because it obviously echoes what you were saying. It's people out here don't give a damn. People don't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, brother. It's just a mean world, man. It's a mean old world.
Yeah, it's
I just hate. Like I said, I hate what happened to them, but I hate the fact that innocent baby have to get caught up in that, man.
Yeah, you're right. It's sad.
But
we don't, what? I'm going to say this too. We don't have the conversations and it just made me think of like the movies that we grew up on, talking about this, how dangerous street life can be and how we need to rise above that and try to get the hell out and all that, rather than staying in those terrible infectious areas and communities that a lot of these kids are growing up in right now as we speak. They don't have those kinds of conversations, stories. We don't hear about the inner city organizations as much anymore. We're not really pushing those things. There are no Boys in the Hood and Menace to Societies telling the kids out here that are consuming this stuff to get the hell out, get away from the situation. You see what I'm saying? And I know that that's like the worst example, but I'm just trying to say we are not hearing those stories. In fact, those things are, since this type of lifestyle now is sensationalized. It's hoisted onto a pedestal, and it is embraced as if this is how life is supposed to be. We don't have those stories out here anymore. We just don't. So suddenly the lack of care for human life just keeps seeping into all of our kids, into the generations to come, because there's no one else out here teaching the opposite, at least not on social media. And this is where they're all grabbing this stuff. It's all about me first, me now. What can I get? You know, what can you give me? You see what I'm saying? And that's really sad. So you got kids out here in these streets taking pregnant women's lives. The hell is going on here? What the hell's going on? But that is the full on truth, Todd. Full on truth.
Yeah, brother. Because I mean, then you were speaking about they found the empty cases inside the car.
Yeah.
No matter what, they still gonna have fingerprints and DNA on them shells. No matter what.
Yep. And I'm telling you, Todd, this is the reason why 50 has not told us a whole lot, because they know more. Yeah. But they don't want the streets popping off and going crazy out here. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, if they even said, if they even just said like that, people would be running after a guy named Julian, and he'd be dead in these streets right now. I'm telling you, on God, he would be gone right now. If police even said one inkling of a name, they could have said Anna, and everyone would be like, "Oh, it's Anna," and everyone would. You see what I'm saying? So they have to be really careful about what they're saying or how they maneuver around this case, because everyone wants to take matters into their own hands and do some street vengeance. But Todd, I appreciate you calling in, my brother. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it, man.
All right again, brother. All right.
All right. Happy New Year.
Continue watching your show, man.
Appreciate
you too, man.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi.
What's up, Tyler?
Sorry.
What's on your mind, man? You're my last call. Give me what's on your mind. Speak on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? I really got
to. No worries, man. No worries. But what's on your mind? Speak on it.
So I don't know. I feel like a lot of just from the callers that you had previously, and just in general the story, I feel like there's a lot of kind of, well, clearly there's a lot of pain going on, and there's a lot of a lot of grief setting in, and I feel like there's like they're dealing with it in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, like with the whole like spirit box thing. I'm not sure if that is necessarily what is happening, but
right.
But I mean, people are free to believe what they think is going on, and what they ascribe to, and how they can deal with it in their own way. Because I don't know. There are things that happen for a reason, and I think. I may not be like a religious person, but I am a spiritual person.
Right.
And I think that's I think we're not put on this earth to just mill about and not do anything with it. We have a life to live, so yeah.
Right.
and we have problems that we go through.
Right. And clearly. Go ahead.
And I think if you want to ascribe like a higher power to like what you think is happening, I think that's good. I'm not trying to get all religious on you, but yeah.
No. I mean, obviously, I got a cross around my neck. I got my little Jesus piece on. I'm a God-loving human being as well. I don't try to hammer you guys over the head on. It's not like I'm going to pull out like Ezekiel. I'm not doing that. Okay. There's and I would never do that. Okay. Because everyone's journey through faith or lack of is their own, right? But with everything that's gone on here, I mean, the it's hard. It's a tough one.
It is.
But I will say this though,
Yep.
too. This is something that we've heard a million times. The only difference is, and we've heard stories about couples that are about to be parents to be, the mother to be losing her life as well. We've heard this story too. This is not just some far-fetched story. This is, you see what I'm saying? We've heard this before, and it being street related. A lot of times it's because they caught a stray bullet or something of that sort. It's something even more devastating and more tragic as well.
Exactly.
But so we have to understand that this is not an old story. You know, I know I say this all the time, but it's a tale as old as time. It's an old story.
Right.
We've heard this a million times. But I'm hoping that by us having these conversations and looking at this and being shocked and being emotionally compelled to try to do something, that maybe this will stop or inspire a slowing down of the violence that is going on out here in these streets. Like I just feel like there is no self-awareness on what's going on out here in these streets anymore, because everybody's so busy being a part of the rat race. Go ahead.
Right. Well, and that actually gets to my point. I would think with the advent of social media and with everybody seeing everything, you would think there would be more self-awareness, not less. But it seems to me like people feel like they can do whatever they want now. And as long as you see it, and as long as people are like, oh, look at him, he's doing this thing, or he's going viral for this thing,
right?
Then people will promote it and think, oh, hey, look at this guy. Like it may be dangerous or this or that, but I don't care. He's doing it. And
Tyler.
And I don't know. I think.
Tyler,
I think that's the sad world that we're living in.
Absolutely.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, absolutely. Real quick, let me just say this. I am in a place where I wish that we lived in a different time, let me just say this. I think that we live in a time where kids, especially the kids, okay, are getting let's just say they're understanding the blueprint, but they're getting the wrong blueprint on how they need to conduct out here in these streets. Now, I know that makes me sound like an old head, and that's fine. I'm an old head. I don't care.
You're right.
But I think that there's a lot of kids that feel, then this is what I'm saying. The blueprint on how to get to success is by being some selfish, monstrous human being, rather than taking, as we've talked about before, taking that scenic route. They're always trying to find the fastest way to success, or the fastest way of getting what they believe is theirs. And instead of it being like, we should be going after things with a good conscience, with purpose, with good vibes, a good positive energy. I think that a lot of people, a lot of the young ones, and even the old ones now too, are thinking that, oh, okay, if I can't get it how I want, I'm erasing this person from this planet. If I can't get what I want, I'm taking my kids out. If I can't get what I want, I'm going to do this, this, and this. These unthinkable things that you don't think anyone would ever do, right? They're suddenly learning those things. They're suddenly learning those things, not only just on social media, they're just seeing it out here in these streets. They're getting it through us. It's an osmosis type of thing. They're getting it seeped into their brains. And suddenly, again, the zero care for life is a part of that equation. It still doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it's there, it really doesn't. But there needs to be a new, there needs to be a revolution of being
a new way of thinking,
of caring. Because apparently, if you care, you're looked at as weak. You're looked at as a wet rag and all that. That's not what it is. A lot, and I'm. No, I understand, but you understand what I'm saying. When we listen to the things that we see on the TV, the internets, the big gurus that we watch all the time, or not we, but that are out here, that are being seen out here on the TikToks and all that. These kids are watching these things all day long. They think, oh, how I'm supposed to be running my life. I'm supposed to be a king in my domain. You could be a king and still rule with compassion. You could still be a king and kick ass and stand on a stack
Exactly.
of gold coins like you Scrooge McDuck out here swimming in these coins, but by ruling and moving around here with passion, with care for another person's life. These kids out here aren't learning that stuff.
Well, actually, can I
go
say
ahead?
You got me.
Go ahead. Go on. Come on, baby. Go ahead.
Like my thing is like I'm 20. I'm gonna be 22 soon, and I don't know. I look at a lot of people, especially a lot of young men of my generation, my age, and I don't know. I want them to. I said this before, but I want them to look more at people who actually give like positive vibes and people who can actually just just give the type of like healing energy and things that they actually need in life.
Right.
Like I think people are looking towards like instant gratification and looking towards like, oh, what can I do to get myself viral, instead of looking towards what can get me towards a more prosperous path in life, or at least a path that doesn't lead towards destruction. And I think that is something that we really need to focus on. I think I don't want to say like I'm some sort of like anomaly or like I'm better than everybody when it comes to this, but I don't know. When it comes to like going out and like drinking, having parties or like doing this other stuff, I'm just not. I mean, of course I'm gonna have fun and do all these things.
Right.
I'm gonna enjoy myself, but I don't want to. I'm just not about that life. I'm not about like just going crazy and doing all this other stuff. I know it's part of being young, but I don't know. I tend to live more slowly, and I feel like there are other peers of mine that do too, and I don't know. I feel like that is going to be a better way to live life, at least a little bit in the long term anyway.
I will say this, man. I think that who said it best? I don't remember who said this, but comparison is the thief of joy. So when I look at like how you say, oh, I still have a good time, but I'm not out here in these, getting crazy and like the rest of these people do and all that. Let me just say this. I mean, keep doing you, keep doing exactly what you do. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of other young cats out here too. They're too busy trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to, showboat and be something that they're clearly not, instead of just being comfortable in their own skin. So I say, I commend you for having being comfortable with yourself and who you are. Some people can't even stand being alone for more than 5 minutes by themselves. And that is something that I think a lot of people,
they
and
need validation.
And I'm saying
people,
it's validation. Right. It's them having their hands. Sort of it's them having their hands on their phones, whatever it may be. You see what I'm saying?
That's think what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I think that we live in a time where everything is constant stimuli. It's constant stimuli. It's constant. Oh, I lost him, but I will finish my thought. Okay, because that's the last of the calls. Thank you so much for the calls. But I do think that it is a thing where there's this constant stimulus, right? We always have to feel something all the time. It's got to be a like or a view or a comment or whatever it may be, right? And I think that is something that has just been ingrained in us, that we need to learn to be able to be with ourselves for a little bit every once in a while. You see what I'm saying? Enjoy the silence. Man, the silence is something amazing if you really let it happen, right? So, I mean, again, this is not just a dig at like, oh, you young kids, you guys don't know any better, because that's what every generation before that generation says, right? That's what all the old heads say about the upcoming generation. Oh, you just don't know nothing. But there's something about the care and value, the acknowledgement that human life is important, has diminished considerably. Do we have, and I'm not sitting here saying that we don't have these inner city or these organizations that exist, they do exist, but are they put out here for us to see? Right? Are we actually, they are out here for us to see, but I'm saying, are we not putting them up on a pedestal as well, right? Applauding those organizations for doing what they're doing for, the upcoming generation that may not have as much as the haves. You see what I'm saying? Because the have-nots don't have a lot, right? And they only know what they know. And some of them are stuck, trapped in that community for their entire life. And they only know what they learned. They only know what they know from the generation before. And it just trickles on. And of course, the other stuff that they consume from their friends, social media, etc. And there's got to be a way to start unlearning those things. Yeah, and now I feel like I'm talking things out of like Higher Learning, the movie Higher Learning. But I'm just saying, there needs to be more conversations out here about what's going on for our youths in the streets. Okay? Let's be real. We're just not having those conversations. And everyone doesn't want to take the scenic route. Everyone wants to do it through doing something evil. And we have to teach the kids that it's about cultivating that seed, watering that seed, making it grow, cultivating your careers, cultivating that business. Not everything is just snap of fingers and next thing you know, you're a multimillionaire. There's blood, sweat, and tears involved in cultivating everything from businesses all the way down to cultivating a long-lasting relationship with someone you love or people you love. But we don't live in that world right now. Everything is right now, and no, you owe me that. And that needs to be changed for sure.